Good day, everyone. This will be the continuation of our section 2. And in our last video, we stopped at types of input. And I said in our next video, I'll be talking about types of elements. And I said we have two types of elements. We have the inline elements and we have block elements. Now, what led us to this explanation of inline and block elements? This input tag that we are having led us to the explanation of inline and block elements. Now, what are inline elements and what are block elements? Inline elements are elements that occupies the space required for their content without starting in a new line. What do we mean by this? Just like our tag, our input tag, before putting BR to break our input tag, to break the lines of our input tag, we were having our input tag, our tag joining together like this. We're having our tag joining together like this. This is an example of an inline element. That is, they only occupies the space needed. They take up only the space required for their content without starting a new line. Unlike our H1, H2, then H3. Can you see? After our H1, we are the next H2 is starting on the next line. Our H3 is starting on the next line. H4 starting on the next line. And also like that. So the block element, they contains or occupies the full width. They take up the full width available and starting a new line for the next tag. This is just an example. Our H1, automatically it has taken the full width of the line. Then if we want to call any other tag after our H1, which is H2, it has to come after the next tag. Just like if I should just call maybe an input tag after this H1, it will have to come and start from the next line. So that's the two types of elements we have. We have inline elements and we have block elements. And inline elements cannot have a width or height. They does not have width or height. While block elements have some kind of padding, margin, and are fully applied. Okay, as time goes on, when we get our CSS, you will understand more about this element. So the next thing on our topic is semantic HTML. What are semantic HTML? Semantic HTML refers to the practice of using HTML elements to convey the meaning and structure of the web content. You know, already I said what? I said tags. They are what? They are elements that defines what? The content and structure of the web page. And why I was explaining form, I did some explanation on form. Like form, if you are trying to create a form like login page, login form or register form, I can use any other tag in creating the structure, but it is applicable to make use of what? To make use of form tag, so that your browser will be able to understand what you are trying to create. And the same thing goes to semantic HTML. It is the practice of using HTML elements to convey the meaning and structure of web content rather than just its presentation. It's not as if just presenting it, okay, I want to create a navigation bar. It is applicable. I should make use of what? A nav tag. I want to create a footer. It is applicable. I should make use of what? Footer tag, and so on like that. So how does this semantic HTML works? I'll be starting with header. Okay, I'll be starting with navbar. Let me create it here. Semantic HTML. Don't forget how to comment. Control, then /. I'll be starting with a navbar. We're having a navbar. Although in this navbar, if I don't want to make use of this navbar, I can just come here and do div and create everything I want to create within my navbar and create it within it. But it is not applicable. It does not make sense this way. Even if you are trying to make some mistakes, your browser still won't understand. Your browser will just take it as a div. That's why it is applicable to make use of what? Semantic HTML. Here now I want to create a nav tag. I'll just have to do what? Nav tag. Then within my nav tag, I want to create my, then I cannot create any other tag I want to create. Now if I now want to use div to contain the navbar, I cannot use div. Then let me call a div. Then I'll use a div. Then within this div, I want to create a logo and some other navigation elements like our home, about, contacts, and every other thing. Then I will just do what? I can also call a div inside a div. It is okay, but I will use a div here now. Let me use an anchor tag, because I want, whenever I click on that logo, it should take us to our what? To our home page. Then anchor tag. Anchor tag. Then within my anchor tag, I will put what? Logo. I've created the logo. Then I want to list out navigation bars. Then what are we using? Don't forget, we are making use of what? Listing tags, which we have UL and OL. Then I want to make use of UL because I'm not doing an ordered list. Then within it, I want to type LI for listing. Now within this LI, I'll be putting anchor tag within this LI. Reason is, whenever I click on that link, I want it to navigate to where we want it to go. Hope you guys are getting it. I want it to do what? To navigate to wherever I'm navigating into. Whenever I click on about, it should take us to what? About page. Whenever I click on contact, it should take us to what? Contact page. Then that's why we're only using that LI to list out our anchor tags. Then I'll do A. Then within this place, I'll do what? I will put my, what's it called? Let's say about. Then I'll come to the next line again. I will create another LI, A. Then within the opening tag and the closing tag of the A tag, I will put OK, contact us. Then another LI. Then within it, another A. Frequently asked question. Then LI. Then another A. Then I can put what? Let me put something else. Maybe register. Then I'm having this. Then Ctrl X. Let me refresh. Yes, we're having it, but it's not making sense this way. Okay, what do we want to do? We want, whenever we click on about, it should navigate to another page. Whenever we click on contact, it should navigate. Whenever we click on frequently asked questions, it should navigate. Whenever we click on register, it should navigate. But I won't be doing that in this video, and that will be a task for you guys to work on. Then let's moving on. I want to complete some things on our form tags. In our last video, I was supposed to touch some other input type, but I didn't touch them. But now I'll be touching it. In our input tag, we also have some input type with attributes of date. Let's say input. We have a lot. This button, this checkbox, this color. We can use our input type to change color. Then we have date, time, we have email, depending on what you want to use. Then let's say I want to just do maybe date. Maybe I'm creating a register form that will be taking date of birth. Then I will just put it date, name. I'll put date and ID. Maybe I will be explaining this ID later, this ID and name attribute later for now, but for now let's abandon it. Then I will do Ctrl X. Then let's do what? Let's save. Let's refresh rather. Then I'm having it, so you can pick your date, your time and every other thing. Then we also have a tag also called button tag. Then inside there I will put click me. Then Ctrl X. Let's refresh again. Then I'm having click me here. So this is a button. So you should be wondering that this thing is not even attractive, it's not fine, it's not beautiful. So that's when our CSS will come in. But for now, let's finish the type of semantic tags we have before I introduce CSS to us. Then I've created a navbar, and I said how this about, content, facts and register should be navigating to another page should be done by you guys. That's a task for you guys to work on. Then after that, we'll be talking about header. Okay, header, we also have a tag called header. Already this navbar should be enclosed inside an header. What does this header do? It defines the headings and subheadings. Just like maybe you are trying to create an H1 element or H2 element or H3 element, you can just enclose the H1 and H2 elements within this place. Just like now, header, I want to type H1, then I want to type welcome SOAIR navigation bar. Okay, let's put it at the top before the nav bar. Then SOAIR navigation bar. Then Ctrl X. Now refresh automatically. So already you won't be seeing the effect, but it will help. It will make your browser to understand more on what you are trying to do with that. And we have what? We have articles, we have sections. So this section, what this section is doing is, by the time we start doing by the time we start practicing more on our we start doing more practical work, you'll be seeing how section and articles are working. We also have other elements like that. We also have image and media elements, table elements, a lot. So that would be all for our semantic HTML. Now, moving on, I'll be introducing us to introduction to CSS in our next section, which should be our next video, section 3 and our week 2. I'll be introducing us to CSS, and we'll be doing some CSS syntax, their selectors, properties, color, fonts, a lot of properties on our CSS. Then everything we'll be creating, we'll be applying our CSS to them to see how CSS works and how we can beautify our website. So goodbye for now. See you in the next video.